Hi page turners! I am currently battling a cold. I have been battling this cold for the last 4 or 5 days, and I am hoping that one more day of rest and relaxation is going to kind of put me over the edge on my way to recovery. So I'm going to be spending the day reading, and I thought I would turn it into a reading vlog. So how lucky for you, you get to spend the day with me while I'm sick and reading. Yay! I slept in a little bit this morning, but I did get up and do my morning routine. I showered, I did my skincare routine. I have been having a little bit of issues with my skin, more so than I ever did as a teenager, and I think that's very rude because at this age I should be done with those issues, but I digress. Skincare routine is done. I brushed my teeth. I put on a little bit of makeup so that I felt better when I was recording and like I was joining the land of the living again. And then I am almost ready to curl back up with my book, but there is one more thing I need to do, and that is to make myself a nice hot Neocitrin to soothe my throat. So let's go do that before we get back into reading. Hi Freya. You're such a good girl. You may be wondering why my bed is a child's bed with unicorn blankets, and that is because my boyfriend and I have been staying with his mom for the last little while. It was only supposed to be for about a month until we took off for a year of travel, but then our little girl here needed eye surgery, so we have been grounded for the last few months, and we are staying in the room where his niece and nephew usually stay when they're visiting. It's actually very cozy and I love it, but that is the backstory behind the bed. I am currently reading Alchemized. I am in part 2 now, and I have to say I am enjoying it a lot more than I enjoyed part 1. I am almost halfway through the book, but I am curious to see how much farther I can get with this full day of reading. So let's get cozy and start reading. Forgot to take off the dust cover, which I don't like reading with my dust covers on because I like to keep them kind of in better condition, which is so funny because when I was a child I would throw these out. Don't judge me. I don't know why. I just didn't see the need for them as a kid. Now as an adult I love them. But that's going over there and we're diving back in. Okay, I have been reading for about an hour. I'm gonna go eat some lunch and then I'm going to come back down and continue. Alright, I ate lunch and now I need to rearrange Miss Freya. I feel bad, but I can't sit in the same position that I was sitting in before. So I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna jump back into my book. Pull you this way, okay? I wanna sit there now. Yeah, oh, the good girl. Oh, that's a good girl. All right, perfect. I was really hoping that I was gonna feel like a lot better by today than I currently am. This cold has just kicked my butt so much. The only thing that's making me feel like a little bit better about it, I guess, is that we had a crazy snowstorm yesterday. We got like 20 to 30 centimeters of snow, I want to say. It's so high. We had to dig out a washroom for Freya just so that she could still go out and use the backyard, and to see her in comparison with how high the snow is actually quite comical. But honestly, that's the only thing that's making me not feel like super bad about being sick for this long, is because there's not really much that you can go out and do. Also, I'm just like really tired. This cold has just taken like all of my energy. I'm debating having a nap right now. I'm probably gonna read for a little bit longer and then I might curl up and have a nap. I don't know. Or I might try and fight it so that I just get like a really good sleep tonight. I don't know. But anyways, back to reading, I guess. I don't know. So I ended up falling asleep for 2 hours. I turned on Community, curled up with Freya, and then just passed right out. So I'm a little groggy right now. I didn't read as much as I thought I would so far today. It's like about 5:30 in the afternoon, and I only got to about just over halfway through the book. I gotta be honest, I'm not really sure if I'm enjoying Alchemized that much. It's very well written, and I do think that the story is really well done and it's interesting. However, it's a lot darker than the books I'm used to reading, and I just don't know if that's for me. I also did see an unmarked spoiler that revealed a pretty big plot twist, and I think that that might also kind of be ruining it for me a little bit, because I'm not gonna have that like, oh my gosh moment when I get to that big reveal. But I'm gonna keep going with it. I don't know if I'm going to read any more tonight. So if I don't, I wish you well. But if I do, you'll see me pop up back here in about 0.1 second. Hi Freya. And I'm back. I'm gonna do a little bit more reading before calling it a night, but I decided to move to like my little book nook area because I just couldn't lie in bed anymore. I think I would probably fall asleep and not wake up till morning if I did that. So let's get cozy and jump back into it. Right, so I read 3 more chapters, but my phone ran out of storage somewhere during that recording, so I don't know how much footage it actually captured. But I'm gonna put a pin in it for now because, as I said, this book is very dark. It deals with a lot of heavy content, and after a while I do find it affecting me emotionally. So I'm gonna go out and cuddle with my boyfriend for a little bit before going to bed, and hopefully waking up tomorrow feeling like 100 times better than I do today. Fingers crossed. But thank you so much for joining me on my very first reading vlog, even though I was sick and I have no idea if it's actually going to turn out well. But until the next one, I wish you well.